to talk about why no one should eat meat.
Can I say bye to the video?
Mm-hmm.
Who else want to go? Because I'm too shy.
You don't have to be. You just. It's just a camera.
Bye, guys. I'll see you later.
Say whatever y'all want.
Bye, guys.
Bye
We'll
guys,
see
see
you
y'all
later in the
later.
video.
I will watch this video, and I had a nice time to be on video right now and have a nice time to talk with this man. But I will see y'all.
How many likes you want the video? How about like 20 likes? Not more.
Nah,
Let's go for 1 million.
50 likes.
A million.
You gotta think
Nah.
big.
Some people have like 5
60 million. 60 million.
Not 60,
60
that's a little
million.
bit too
Yeah,
much.
60 million.
I think 1 million is good enough for right now.
Always think big. Because even if you don't get 60, if you get 50, that's still good.
Because you close to 60.
That's right.
Now, if you want to make 30, and you at 20, like at 29,
You
you got
can do
one
that.
more step. One more step, and then you done.
Alright.
All right, see you
How are
next
you?
time.
What do you say your name?
Michael Gaucher.
Michael.
Michael. How to spell it? How to spell Michael?
G-A-U-T-I-E-R.
I got one point, Michael.
Food itself is a fuel. It's nothing but a fuel. It's a fuel for us to generate, our life essential energies from. There's many medical educational institutions that are sharing today the fact that human beings do not need animal food consumption in order to live an optimal life.
So the number one question I get asked when it comes to diet is, why don't I eat meat? And I've had a variety of answers over the years, but while the answers felt okay to me at the time that I gave them, they were not always complete. And so I wanted to do some research and see what are the pros and cons to eating meat, but more importantly than that, because your choice of diet can be a very personal thing. It can be very preferential. It may not hinge on any logic or any true research, but I wanted to see if there was some research out there about eating meat.
But hopefully one day most people can live till their mid-80s and still be just as healthy as they were in their 40s.
So we're talking about things that do us good. What's the criminal lineup for the worst foods we could put in our systems?
Anything you find in America.
Well, yeah.
My story on why I don't eat meat began around the year 2000, somewhere in that ballpark. And at the time, the media was talking about mad cow disease outbreak primarily in Britain, where farmers in Britain were dealing with this outbreak of mad cow. And while there was assertions given that mad cow was not contagious or transmittable to humans, at the time, the younger version of me was like, I'm not taking any chances with some mad cow disease in beef.
It's caused absolute devastation. The current outbreak of foot and mouth disease in Britain has ruined farmers, seen livestock slaughtered, and now threatens much of Europe. The bill is running into billions, but this grim toll may be nothing compared to what awaits with mad cow disease. Now, the worst scenario is that millions of people may die. Now, theoretically, anyone who ate beef in Britain in the last 15 years is at risk. One steak, one hamburger could prove fatal. But what makes this tragedy even more awful is the reprehensible conduct of the British government, as it tried to keep the risks hidden from an unsuspecting public.
If you were around in the 90s, and especially if you lived in the UK, you might remember all the panic about mad cow disease. It's a disorder that's killed thousands of cattle since the 80s and 90s, and because a version of it can also infect humans, a lot of people were really freaked out. Today, thanks to safer farming, it probably isn't anything you need to worry about. And even though scientists still don't know exactly how it works, we can say one thing for sure. Your steak is almost definitely probably not infected. Mad cow disease is the common name for a condition called bovine spongiform encephalopathy, or BSE. It's a progressive neurological disease that affects cows, and over time it causes severe brain and nervous system damage, which eventually leads to trouble standing, walking, and changes in mood, like increased aggression and nervousness. The spongiform part of the name just means spongy, because the infection creates a bunch of holes in the cow's brain where its cells should be. The first 2 cases of BSE were identified in the UK in 1986, but it takes a really long time for symptoms to show up, so scientists think the first infections probably date back to the 70s. During the outbreak's peak in 1993, almost 1,000 new cattle were infected each week, but that number has gone down dramatically since then. BSE is caused by a bizarre, self-replicating protein called a prion. Other pathogens like bacteria and viruses use DNA to make copies of themselves, but a prion is just a deformed version of a normal protein that's found in cell membranes. Sometimes those proteins can go rogue and get bent out of shape, but right now we don't totally understand how or why it happened.
So that was the initial kickoff for me to say, I'm just not eating any beef products anymore.
It's what you eat and when you eat. We overeat, we eat too often, and we also eat things that are just too many calories. So sugar is the biggest culprit. A lot of fat. I try to avoid meat. So there are a lot of people who love meat. There's no evidence that a lot of meat extends your lifespan. In fact, a lot of the contrary.
So I was already somewhat dissatisfied with going to fast food joints and ordering burgers off the fast food menu. Sometimes when you eat something so often that it grows stale to you, it's easier to let that go. And so that's what I did with primarily hamburgers from major fast food chains in the United States.
So yeah, those are the main things. And avoiding fresh foods is the problem in this country. We eat a lot of processed, highly processed foods, canned foods. These are not good because the wonderful molecules that slow aging have been destroyed when you cook them.
Wow. So raw vegan, ugh, that's the life. Ugh, I can't believe it.
I think there are some vitamins and nutrients that are in raw vegetables that you cannot digest through the fiber to get to them, so that there's an ideal cook time so that you can actually access the nutrients. So not overcooked and not undercooked.
Yeah, they say
Right.
to blanch kale because otherwise you're just passing it through your system. It's not doing anything for you.
This is a short preview of a much more in-depth discourse that I will release on Thursday that will go into a deep dive about
the science and the scientists who have revealed the impact of meat on the body and why meat, animal protein, and animal food is not designed for humans and can work against the human body in terms of health, longevity, and vitality. So I hope you join me on Thursday, where I go into a much longer but very vital discussion that collects all of the best information I've been able to gather over the last several weeks about this question of carnivore diet and why meat is likely not the best option in terms of diet, health, and nutrition for the vast majority of humans on the planet.